Elsewhere, the situation in Haiti continues to raise concern back home. The Kenyan police officers deployed under the Multinational Security Support Mission, or MSS, have come under heavy gunfire from criminal gangs in Haiti. One officer has died, several have sustained injuries, and one remains missing, with disturbing videos of his possible fate circulating online. Families back home are desperate for answers. And tonight, joining us live from Haiti is MSS Spokesperson Mr. Jack Ombaka. Mr. Ombaka, many thanks for speaking with the NTV tonight. Let's begin with what is weighing heaviest. The missing Kenyan officer, Benedict Kabiru. Can you confirm his status tonight? And has the mission established whether he's alive or dead?
Thank you very much, reporter, for giving me this opportunity to speak from Haiti. First of all, I want to greet all my Kenyan colleagues. Good evening. I'm happy that we're starting with this question. First of all, I wish to say that as Kenyan mission to Haiti, we've made strong strides. The officers that we are talking about, Benedict Kabiru, was involved in an operation in Port Sunday. And during that operation, that is when he went missing. As a contingent, as a commander, one of the first things is that you have to account all the officers who are in the operation. So as we speak right now, we are still establishing where the officers is. He is still missing in action. And we are using all the available resources. And I'm happy to report that the progress we are making, very good. All the actors, we are talking about the local Haitian population, we are talking about the Haitian government, we are talking about the international partners, are all helping us trace the officer who is still missing in action. And that is the position that I can authoritatively report.
Right. It is important to clarify this, Mr. Ombaka, because as you rightly mentioned, Benedict Kabiru went missing after a gang ambush in Port Sunday. But there has been a video circulating online allegedly showing his final moments, in those videos. Has the mission verified the authenticity of the videos shared online? And has his family officially been briefed on what those videos then mean?
Actually, the first thing that we do when we have such kind of a development, the first thing we do is we try as much as possible to get in touch with the next of kin, family members, that I can tell you authoritatively that that was done. About the video, one thing that is very clear here in Haiti, many of the Haiti gangs thrive on propaganda. That video in circulation, and more so in the advent of AI, it is very, very, very unlikely that that is a video of Benedict circulating. When we came here, the gangs were thriving on propaganda, and a lot of mechanisms have been put in place to ensure that they don't use the social media in spreading the same propaganda. So as a part of the authenticity of the video, I can tell you for a fact, with all the information that we have, that video is not authentic.
Many families back home, Mr. Ombaka, say they're in the dark with regard to the welfare of their sons back home. What is the MSS protocol then in updating families, especially in situations like this? Because even the family of Benedict Kabiru says they're not quite in the light of what's really happening.
Actually, thank you very much for asking such a question, because what we've done as MSS, one, and this is very deliberate, the office of the spokesperson is also the office of the director strategic communication. These are two offices collapsed into one. And the reason behind it is to make sure that information reaches the target audience as fast as possible. As we speak, I know mechanism, especially as part of communication with the outside world, especially communicating with Kenya. We have so many of our social handles that we have shared online. And every time there is an incident, either positive or negative, we share these in our social handles. But of great importance that I want to really emphasize on this, when we came here to Haiti, communicating with family back home was a big problem. And the first thing we pushed for was the establishment of Wi-Fi facility. As we speak, I'm using the Wi-Fi facilities for MSS, and everywhere in their bases, MSS has established Wi-Fi. Key on top of that, the government of Kenya, in its own wisdom, is providing each and every officer with airtime that also includes bundle. And this was ostensibly made so that they could easily communicate with their loved one back home. Over and above that, as MSS, we have opened our doors and windows to the media so that if there is any questions to be answered or be asked, we are there for them to share with them. And those are the procedures.
So we understand as we speak that multiple Kenyan officers have been injured, some seriously injured. So as we speak, how many officers have been hurt since the mission began? What kind of injuries are we talking about, and where are they being treated?
Oh, Michelle, you've used a very strong term, seriously. When we came here, even before we came here, the first thing His Excellency the President, he prayed for us. And I can tell you for a fact, God has always been on our side. The so-called serious injuries, those are wishful thinking. And it's very unfortunate that there are people outside there who are just praying for Kenyans to get serious injury. But I can tell you for a fact, we don't have serious injuries. And the injuries that our officers have suffered from, thank God, out of the robust structure that has been put in place, any slight injury that we have is either treated here at the base. We have Aspen Hospital, which is a level 2. But for speedy recovery, we take our officers to Dominican Republic, where they get specialized treatment so that they can recover fast and come back to the theater. As we speak, I will wish to inform all of us here that all our officers who are injured in line of duty are back to the base. And those who are able to come to the base, none, because all of them are back to the base.
So how many, Mr. Ombaka, can you give us a number? How many officers have been injured so far?
I've told you, for a fact, Mungu anatupenda sana. God loves us. We just have a couple of officers who have been injured. And
give me a number, Mr. Ombaka. Can you give us a number?
The number, sometimes the number cannot go beyond 3. And all of them are back into the base. We have Medivac, that is, we use helicopter to evacuate them to DR so that they can get quick treatment. And they are back. And the last bunch of the 3 just arrived here this week on Monday, and they are back to base.
All right.
And we thank God for that.
Now, you mentioned earlier, the efforts the Kenyan government is putting in place, including setting up a Wi-Fi base, which is what you're using tonight, including giving airtime to police officers. Now, there has been growing concern about communications by officers under the MSS team being communicated to their friends and family back home. Some expressing concern that of the quality of equipment that they have been issued, that the gear they're using isn't bulletproof enough. Are the officers safe with the tools they've been given? And is the mission reviewing these concerns by the officers?
Very good question. Remember, here, we have been here for the last 8 months. If the equipment we're using were not up to standard, I don't think we'll be where we are. All the equipment that we are using here are up to standard, are meet the international standards. These are equipment that are procured professionally and they are delivered here. Many countries going through a lot to deliver the same equipment here. If the equipments were not up to standard, I can tell you for sure that we will not be where we are. But again, we have always invited not local media, not international media, and even now you can see the videos they are showing there. Those are some of these vehicles we are using here. We use them back home. They are not new to us. And I can tell you, out of the threats that we engage with here in Haiti, we still have room for improvement. Where we see inadequacy, we correct that so that we are 100% sure that given the threat, we are also able to enhance our equipment.
Right.
Modifications are needed, and that is why we keep on changing on the tactics and also delivering some of this equipment.
There's been unconfirmed reports on social media of officers asking to come back home or others deserting the mission altogether. This, of course, from friends and family. Is this true that there have been confirmed resignations, allegedly due to harsh conditions, others say due to pay delays? And how is the MSS dealing with such requests?
One thing that I can assure members of the public is that our being here was God sent. Our being here in Haiti was God sent. If we had not come to Haiti to help the Asians, the Asians will not be where they are. And one of the biggest motivations that we always have is when we see the Asian population applauding us and encouraging us and supporting us in all the things that we do. When we are coming here, we knew about the threats. I can tell you for a fact, not a single officer has deserted duty, not a single officer has resigned. Actually, if you share with some of the officers who have done missions elsewhere, they will tell you there's no any other mission that is well, that is well planned as MSS. A mission where officers are fed, a mission where officers use washing machines, a mission where airtime is provided, a mission where state-of-the-art equipment are provided. No officer has resigned, no officer has deserted. And allow me to add this, learning from the previous missions where there were some shortcomings, we are perfecting the art so that we don't repeat this. And it is on record for an officer who has been found to violate human rights, an officer who has been found to be sexually assaulting or abusing anybody, that officer will go home. Those are the circumstances where officers can go home. But as we speak right now, that is the position. About the allowances, Michelle, this is one mission where officers are paid daily subsistence allowance over and above the allowances that they are paid at the end of the month. Notwithstanding, they are paid back home. And all these processes take time. Money is sent from the US, that is Washington, back to the troop deploying country, that is Kenya. And all the processes, procedures from the bank, different banks, you have to pay this money to different banks, all that will take time. There could be some delay, but at the end of it, as we speak right now, officers have received their pay. What is there again as part of the allowances? This is hard cash. As we speak, there is a lot of shortage in dollars here in Haiti, given the circumstances. A little bit delay, but the assurance is that every officer is paid his due.
All right. Now, Mr. Ombaka, the original goal of this mission as you wind up was to help Haiti stabilize enough to be able to hold elections by 2026, that is next year. Based on the current progress, is this still a realistic goal, or is the mission now mostly on survival mode?
One thing, this is a very unique mission. It has never been practiced anywhere. It's a mission that involves the National Police Service. It's a mission that involves countries that are contributing to the fund voluntarily. It's a mission that is unique in its own nature. But having said that, it's one mission that has 4 phases. We have the deployment phase, we have the decisive operation phase, we have the stabilization phase, we also have the transition phase. Where we currently are, we are in the decisive operation phase. And that is why, to some extent, you can see now, this is now where the rubber meets the road. And that is why you can see whatever is happening. We are still in the decisive phase. We're going for the gangs. As we speak right now, all the gang leaders cannot come out as they used to do, because they know we are in the decisive phase and we are engaging them. After decisive phase, that is the phase that is envisaged where, referendum is supposed to, take place. Thereafter, the transition phase where even the election will take place. So before we say that we are reactive or we are doing this, we still maintain the action that we are doing within the 4 phases. And I don't think we have exhausted the 4 phases for one to jump into conclusion that we are where we are because the mission is not getting its own objective. We are still on track on the same objective that was set, and still on decisive operations. We'll still do our best to ensure that sanity prevails in Haiti.
All right, Mr. Jack Ombaka, many thanks for speaking with NTV tonight. Mr. Jack Ombaka is the spokesperson of the Multinational Security Support Mission in Haiti, a mission he says is still on course. And that conversation brings us to a break on NTV Weekend Edition. Much more still to come, including the day's sports news. To stay with us.